So good morning, everyone. I want to start with this thought. So go ahead and close your eyes, find your comfortable seat. The condition of our world depends upon the condition of our consciousness. Wow. That's heavy, no? The condition of our world depends on the condition of our consciousness. What do we reflect into the world and what do we take from the world? There is a difference between curing and healing. We can cure something, but the imprint will remain. We can heal something, which will create the cure. And so for right now, our consciousness is healing the world. It's up to us how we think. It's up to us how we act. It's up to us what we say. And so in this time, we can be holy without being saintly. No need to be a saint. You don't need to wear orange clothes. But you can be holy. And you can think peace. And you can release fear. And you can remember to high five God or Goddess and say, I know you got this. See, one of the things that we continue, or I continue to look at, is how to be the bridge between the ancient and the future. Because if we break that bridge, we have to start all over. How many of us know that the better way to do it is to take from the wisdom of the past and grow it? But if we break that bridge, if we neglect to think that anything that's happened in the last year isn't of great importance, then we have to start all over. The condition of our world is dependent on the condition of our consciousness. So I'll give you something simple to link that to, as I always like to. This is to the wonderful herb thyme, Thyme. Mythology tells us that on the labyrinth of our life, as we walk toward our center, there's a monster that roars, trying to scare us off our path and trying to reveal our fears and our inadequacies. But you're never truly alone because you have an ally of time, Thyme. Her scent perfumes your thoughts and purifies them. Her time kills off what other than you is. This is Time's special magic. She calls your inner flame to burn the dross, distilling your spirit. Intuitively, she knows you from not you, and she sees you clearly when you cannot. For Thyme is a very powerful plant, a very, very powerful plant. So the labyrinth is used to walk. It's the path of who we are. The great thing about the labyrinth is it's not like a maze, so it has dead ends and wrong turns. It just invites you to walk your path and understand your journey. And to know that the consciousness that you bring to this day is a consciousness of the world. Bring your hands together at your heart center. A lot of the teachings that I sit with, one of them has said that this is the time period here in June where we will all be offered many opportunities. And many of us take that note that says, I say no because it's too much. But this suggestion was to say yes, not to say no to anything that comes your way right now. For sure, if it's something that's very painful, use discernment. But notice that you'll probably be very busy in June because we're raising consciousness. And it's been funny since I've been suggesting that. It's been incredible what's been coming my way. Our consciousness is how we see the world and how the world sees us. To raise it, raise your consciousness. Inhale for the sound of Om. Release your hands and open your eyes. And come onto your hands and knees, please. Start with a little bit of cat and cow if you'd like. Maybe even some hip circles. Lots of breath. And teachings of the Sri Sukta. May I recognize the Sapta Jivas, 7 flames, the 7 chakras, 7 realms of existence, the 7 churches, the 7 bells, the 7 stars, the 7 sages, the 7 gems, the 7 seas. One of the offerings of 7 is the idea of complete expansion, infinity, heaven and earth. May I be here on earth and experience all realms of existence. May I open myself up to more. Consciousness open. Like a superpower. Downward facing dog. What's your superpower? Opening my consciousness.
Sleeping through construction.
Opening my consciousness as I sleep through construction. Good, and then settle in, please. Into the beautiful breath of the inhale and the exhale. Just reach out through those hands and feel those fingers get lighter. Reach out through those toes and feel those feet get lighter. So there's such a really nice connection to both, but they're light, almost etheric. Good, and then walk your hands all the way back to your feet, hands back to feet. And then round here. Robin, walk to the back of your mat. There you go. Round here, tuck your chin into your chest and pull into your back ribs. Now press your sit bones back and wide. And then fold deeply into yourself, letting your heart melt. Do that again, round, tuck your chin into your chest, round, round. So fall forward, Suzanne, and then round. Yeah, stay forward and round. Now press your sit bones wide. Pull your navel in. And then let your heart melt to the floor. Beautiful. Walk your hands back forward, downward facing dog. Excellent. And then go ahead and walk your feet to your hands. Making sure your feet are pointing straight ahead. Inhale your arms straight ahead of you, but stay low so your arms parallel the floor. Bend your knees a lot. Now tuck your chin into your chest and round, curl in. Now as you curl in, your seat's going to want to tuck under, so press your sit bones back and wide again. Lengthen your side body. And then start slowly to reach your arms up to that fullness of your chair, but keep your seat low. Nice, Susan. Good, Jade, keep your seat even lower. Go lower. Yes. Gorgeous. Nice, Susie. Rise up to stands. Bring your hands behind your head. Press your head back. Lift your chest. Soften your ribs. Lean back. Keep that middle ribs pressing back. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up and alongside the arms. Up, upside the ears, sorry. And then bow forward. Nice, Meredith. Step your left leg back behind you. Inhale your arms to the sky. Nice high lunge. Good. Bring your arms out in front of you and interlace your palms and press straight ahead. Good. Now bend your back knee just a little bit. Good. Now tuck your chin into your chest and round. Pull your ribs back. Pull them back. Good. Keep them back as you reach your arms back up to the sky and straighten that back leg. Good. Do that again. Reach your arms forward. Tuck your chin into your chest. Pull the rib cage back. Bend your back knee. Good. Now start to straighten the back leg and reach the arms up, keeping that full power. Gorgeous. Let your arms float out to cactus arms. And then drop your hands down to the floor. Step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Parsvottanasana. Breathing in and breathing out. Enjoy your breath. Tack that right hip crease back. Even scoop the low belly here. Beautiful and brilliant. Bring your left foot up to meet your right foot. Bend your knees a lot. Reach your arms forward so your arms parallel the floor. Tuck your chin into your chest and round. Press your sit bones back and wide. Keep your navel drawn in and then slowly start to reach the arms up as your seat goes lower. Whole idea is that spine center stays so drawn in. Good. Reach all the way up. Place your hands behind your head. Pull your elbows down to lift your chest up, but soften those ribs so the middle back gets that little rounded feeling, and then lean back. Beautiful. Shoot your arms up alongside those ears and bow forward. Send your right leg back behind you. Front knee stays bent. Inhale the arms to the sky. Keep that front knee bending a lot. Watch that the knee's pointing at that second toe. And then reach your arms forward, interlace your palms, press your palms away from you as you bend your back knee, tuck your chin into your chest. Nice, Jane. Nice, Heidi. And then take that back up, straighten those arms up, straighten that back leg. Good, Suzanne. Beautiful. One more time. Bend that back knee, take the arms forward, round, pull the chin in, pull back. Yeah. And then reach that up, straighten that back leg. Keep that front knee bent, cactus arms, open up, lean back. Yes. Nice, Elena. And touch down. Beautiful. Step your back foot in just a little bit. Go straight on both legs. Nice, Allison. Breathe deeply. Labyrinth of your life. What steps on to your labyrinth to scare the shit out of you? And then what holds you hostage there? And what's so sweet about this, that, you know, my whole life is now with herbs and plants and trees and sun and moon. So we can reach to time and have a cup of thyme tea to remind us of who we are and who we're not. That's pretty damn simple, no? Step to the front of the mat. Good. Bend your knees, reach your arms forward and up. Place your hands on your thighs and cat-cow here. There's no need to start all over, even though I've said over and over again that all the rules are broken now. We still take the wisdom of our ancestors and the wisdom of our yoga teachers and our sacred teachers. That never changes. Good. Inhale those arms up and alongside those ears. Good. Now just lift your left foot up, keeping your right knee bent. And place your left ankle on top of your right knee. Flex that foot a lot. Clasp your hands behind your back and lean forward. Great. Keep that foot nice and flexed. There you go, Suzanne. Great. Clasp your hands behind you. Get those shoulders way back. Lean forward. What can you squeeze to hold and what can you let go to hold? Good. Rise up and release. All right, we think it's just what can I squeeze to hold, but what can I let go of to hold? Switch sides. What am I holding on to so tightly that even if I wanted to be in balance in my life, it would be impossible? Second side. Flex that foot a lot. Great, Sarah. Nice, Sue. And then lean forward. Lift those shoulders up. Clasp those hands behind the back. Yeah, Linda. Beautiful, Lisa. And come on up. Gorgeous. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Good. Step back plank pose. Upper push up. Go slightly past your wrist, lower all the way down to your belly. Click your heels towards your butt, so let your shins lift up. Now you want to scoop your tailbone and get that sense of lowering down that pubis, pressing into the floor, but now widen your sit bones just a little bit. And then lift your head, neck, and chest cobra. Yeah. Good. Now what happens if you lift your hands up? Rib cage in. What happens if you smile? Good. Press back. Child's pose. I don't know. Not enough of you smile. Thanks.
Mhm.
In child's pose, fill that back body with breath. We were very intent the other day in class on healing the back energy, the past energy, working with the back body. Okay, come on up to your hands and knees. Thread the needle. Take the right arm out to the right and slide it underneath the left. Interesting, because one of the, and I know some of you online here are teachers, yoga teachers or other forms of teachers. We definitely know that it is through our teaching that we heal ourselves. There's also this thing that keeps coming up for me. I'm sure it's not just for me, but it's like spoil yourself. So be the teacher that learns. Make sure that you're spoiling yourself. You're loving yourself. Good. Try the other side, please. Maybe today spoiling yourself is with a lot of breath. A cup of Thyme tea later. There is not one space in my yard for another plant. Not one, not one. I don't know how many of you are coming to the drumming circle tomorrow at my house, but you'll see. There is not one. But this is what happened. So I got it in my head that I wanted to buy a couple more hanging either fruit or vegetable plants. Come on up, downward facing dog. And I had gone downward dog, step your right foot forward, Virabhadrasana 2. I went to Perry's Florist, which is right here in Glen Rock, and I saw hanging strawberry plants. Yeah. And so I bought 2 or 3, I can't remember. And then I got it in my head that I could have more hanging vegetable plants because there's no more room in the yard. But here's where my husband made a mistake. Take your left arm down your left leg, take your right arm up and back. Send that knee forward. That looks so beautiful. And then clasp your hands behind your back as you lean forward, but keep leaning where your left shoulder's on top of your right shoulder. Lean to the right now. Lean to the right. Good. Now slowly turn your upper body toward the floor and spin up your back heel and bow. This is like having the body just move slowly with your awareness. Really beautiful. Arms up if you can. Excellent release and downward facing dog. Good. Take it through vinyasa of your choice or none. So what my husband did by mistake was he showed me all the empty pots that we had. That was a huge mistake. Because when I went back to the store, they had very few plants that were already in big pots. But I could buy a lot of little plants to put in big pots. So now, happy girl, left foot forward, open to Virabhadrasana 2. Now, even more magic will be happening at the Etzel house. Sink deep into that left thigh. Good. Lift those side body ribs a little bit more. Throat back. Now clasp your hands behind you. Oh, you can lean back first. Sorry, did I do that? Take your right arm down your right leg. Take your left arm up and back. And then as you lean to the left, clasp your hands behind you, but keep your right shoulder on top of your left shoulder and lean. Keep your ribs in. Keep that knee moving forward. Good. Now start to turn your belly to the floor and spin up your back heel and bow. Release your hands to the floor. Sweet. Downward facing dog. Go forward to plank. Using your right hand to hold you, Vashisthasana, left leg stacks on top of right. Maybe bend that left elbow and lean back. Lift your heart, soften your ribs. Good, try the other side. Beautiful, everyone. Take this slow. Allow everything to really manifest in awareness. Nice. Take it down if you'd like through Chaturanga. If you want to bend your knees again and lift up your head, neck, and chest into that wonderful back bend without doing bow pose, but just working through the pelvis to drop deep into the floor. Nice. And find yourself coming back into downward dog. Stepping your right foot forward, opening up your Virabhadrasana 2. Straightening that front leg. Good. Reaching for triangle pose. Nice. Yeah. Walking on this labyrinth of life with all these amazing magical tools as our guides. Good. Sweep it forward to half moon. Bend that right knee. Maybe take a hold of that left ankle if you'd like. Good. Now taking that left hand to the floor. Let the left knee just point down to the floor as that leg stretches back behind you. And then take your right arm up to the sky, twisting Ardha Chandrasana. Feel that moment that you move the body in the other direction. Don't miss it. And maybe reach for that ankle if you'd like. Good. Let both feet come to the front of the mat. Bow to yourself. Maybe open and close your mouth for a moment. Inhale the arms out and up. Big breath in. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. Belong to yourself. Turn to yourself. It's okay to spoil yourself. Remember to say yes. There's so much coming up in this world. It's so beautiful. And yes, there's still going to be darkness. But again, remember, it is the condition of our world depends on our consciousness. How do we think? Inhale the arms out and up. And bow forward as you exhale. Step back, downward facing dog. And stepping your left foot forward. Open up Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Straighten that front leg. Reach for triangle. Open that right shoulder. So be careful of that arm coming back. Instead, bring the arm almost forward and then pull the armpit back. And then open up that arm. Beautiful. And then bend that knee and walk it forward into half moon. Maybe reach back for that ankle. And then very fairy-like, meaning very light in spirit. Drop your right hand down to the floor, turning your right toes to the floor, stretch your left arm up to the sky. Maybe reach back for that ankle. Nice Meredith, Susan. Linda, drop both feet to the floor. Open and close your mouth. Turn your feet wide and come into squat. One of the great teachings of the Sri Sutta of Lakshmi is that you can never be prosperous if you're always afraid of losing what you have. Therefore, you can never be truly healthy if you're always afraid of losing what you have. You allow yourself to feel whole and complete and nourish your mind with blessings. Downward facing dog. Come on down to those knees and press back into child's pose. Walk your upper body to the right. And to the left. Really pull that right side body as long as you can. And come on back onto your hands and knees. Press back, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg back and up behind you, down dog split, and then send your right knee forward for pigeon or float onto your back for pigeon. If you are facing your belly toward the floor, walk your hands back up and see if you can take your left hand back for your left ankle for thigh stretch. Otherwise, leave yourself where you are. You're taking that thigh stretch, draw that knee down, pull it forward, and maybe go ahead and take your right arm up to the sky, stretch it up, or stay right where you are. If you have your back ankle, slowly release it as you gather your whole sense. You pull from knee to knee in, and then walk yourself forward, forehead to the mat. Your ankle to knee, make sure you're flexing both feet. Have you seen your true path and turned away? Or have you stepped on the path only to become unsure, distracted? Time is calling you back. If you accept, if you whisper yes in the wee hours of the morning, you'll find time to be your friend. So which path will you walk, and which calling will you consciously deny, and which will you accept? It's a kind of sweet thing to just hold time in your hand. Just feel her sensations and vibrations. She also is powerful for your lungs, clean your lungs. But so what I'd like for you to do is, if you're facing your belly to the floor, I want you to walk your hands up and slide your left knee on top of your right knee. If you're on your back, go ahead and just take your right, you're going to be on the opposite side, but take your right knee on top of your left knee. So you're doing the same thing. You're just lying on your back. Yep, you got it. If you're seated, you might want to put something underneath your seat. Good. Send your sit bones back and wide. And then walking forward, if you're seated, you can walk forward. If you're lying down, just squeeze your shins in toward each other. Notice the back body here. Is it too chilly in here? No.
I'm chilly, but that's just me.
That's all right. I will make sure I turn it off for Savasana. Feels a little chilly in here. Okay, come on up. We're going to take pigeon on the second side. So if you're lying on your back, just change sides. Otherwise, move back to downward dog. Inhaling the left leg back and up behind you, sending your left knee forward for pigeon. Taking the thigh stretch first, reaching your right hand back for your right ankle, or not. Always remembering to pull that core body in and up, sit bones back and wide. It's so interesting. The more you work with pulling your navel in and your rib cage in and your sit bones wide, you'll get more length in your lower back. You'll get more space in your back body. And then from here, you can release that ankle when you're ready and come forward onto your forehead. If you're lying on your back, stay in that ankle to knee. So good. Breathe into this back body. Think of this as a beautiful quote. Infinity is patient. We're not patient, but infinity is patient. Breathe into that back body. And slowly walk yourself back up. Slide the back knee on top of the front knee, and or if you're on your back, just slide knee on top of knee. Gomukhasana, either lying on your back or seated. Another thing with Gomukhasana is root down through those baby toes and lift up through that spine, sit bones back, chest lifted. And if you're lying down, same idea, lift the chest, soften the ribs. And then you can walk forward if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Maybe tonight when you're preparing for, chilling out or meditation or reading a book or just spoiling yourself, maybe you could say tonight's a good night to step out of time. I'll enter back into it later. Tonight's a good time to step out of time, to explore infinity. And remember the shaman's way, because everyone's looking for eternity, but how about tonight? So it goes both ways, right? It's like allow yourself to be present in this human body, spectacularly present, and in the same point, investigate infinity, consciousness. Good. And step it back, downward facing dog. Really nice, everybody. And roll forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Then slide your feet as wide as your mat. Come up to Sphinx pose. Feet as wide as your mat. And then as if you're threading the needle, thread your right arm underneath your left. And then start to roll over onto your right side, but keep your legs wide. And then take your left arm over your ear. Reach back until that left shoulder hits the floor behind you. Keep their feet wide. Feet wide, feet wide. And then breathe into this. Imagine here that you're receiving a very beautiful massage, one's that opening up your shoulders, one that's allowing you to breathe a little deeper into your lungs. It's not that massage where that you're cringing the whole time because you know it's good for you. I happen to hate them. There's some people I know who adore when they get really beat up, not me. Good. Roll back over onto your belly, sphinx. Legs stay nice and wide, and change that for me, please. Other side. Left arm weaves through, right arm comes back. Beautiful. Super beautiful. Good. With all that side body, opening up in the chest, come back onto your belly, press back, take a couple of breaths in child's pose, and then arrive in downward facing dog. I don't want to. Every time I talk, it sounds like my dog Blue. Good. Once you arrive in downward dog, step your right foot forward, lower your left knee, Anjaneyasana. Maybe you want a little blanket underneath your left knee. And then you can release your hands onto your right thigh and press your thigh forward. You can remain here pulling your ribs back. Or you can reach back for your left ankle, left hand, left ankle. Maybe you want to be extra wild and take your right hand back to lifting your ankle off the floor. Ankle off the floor. Yeah, so either one or none. Keep that knee moving forward though. Don't back off on. And make sure that left knee is not directly underneath that left hip. Good. And then hands down to the floor. Kanamanasana, straighten that front leg. So you're drawing that right heel down and pulling it back. Nice, everybody. Softening your face. Beautiful. Breath is magical. Sweet. Slowly walk that back in. Downward facing dog. Take it through vinyasa of your choice or none at all. Left foot steps forward, Anjaneyasana when you're ready. Knee behind the hip. Left knee pushing toward your second toe. Taking your hands down to your thigh, pressing forward to give that sense of lifting up the ribs as you press down the thigh. Either staying here or reaching back for that ankle, right hand, right ankle. Maybe left and right hand, right ankle. Shoulders back. Lean the heart forward. Beautiful. So pretty. As you release your hands to the floor, straighten that left leg. Kanamanasana. May our consciousness continue to raise. May we explore the beauty of the unknown, the unseen. Take 2 more deep breaths here. And step it back as you exhale, downward facing dog. Jump to squat. Come all the way up to stand. You can just stand right up. Gorgeous. Turn your feet parallel to each other. Bring your left knee into your chest as we come into tree pose. Notice that you're not pushing your right hip out to right to balance. Pull that right leg in. And then take the arms to cactus arms. And then lean forward slightly here, just slightly lean forward. So you can feel the tops of your thighs moving back. You can feel your rib cage moving back. And then from that, lift your chest up again. Come on up. Good. Release the foot down. Try the second side. Again, with curiosity. What's the most freedom I can create in this balancing pose? I can certainly come up and just hold it tight. Right? That'll work. But that could mirror a lot of other things I do in my life. So can I find freedom here? Take the arms out. Take your butt back, your ribs back, maybe even tuck your chin into your chest. It's a place you don't usually go. And then allow yourself to lift up and draw back. Nice. Beautiful work, Jane. Yes. And release down. Very, very good. All right. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, bow forward. And come on down to sit and lie on your back. Bend your knees, plant your feet. If for a very long time You've been putting your foot on the brake and clenching the steering wheel. That'll only take us to a very deep place that's dark, dark hole. And when it's time to come back up, you won't have any energy to do that. But instead, as we're going down this hill and we have no idea where it's taking us, if we could take our foot off the brake and lift our arms off the steering wheel and just fly. When it's time to come back up, we will just fly back up. Consciousness creates the condition of the world. Hug your knees into your chest. Reach for your insteps, happy baby pose. And then take your legs nice and wide, letter V. Bring your arms alongside the body. Flex the feet. Keeping the navel rib cage drawn down. Now take your arms up to the sky and clasp your hands together. Let the pointer finger just press forward, and then lift your head, neck, and chest and reach between those legs. Good, take your head back down. Now come into more of a frog-like leg, so bend the knees. And lift up your head, neck, and chest. Good, and lower your head back down. Good, now squeeze your knees toward each other, shins parallel to the floor. Lift up your head, neck, and chest, and reach your arms to the left side, squeezing past your left knee. And then lower back halfway and move it to the right side. And go side to side for just a couple of breaths. In this one, draw your knees toward each other. There you go, yep. Good, and then I want you to keep your legs where they are and just lift your arms straight up to the sky, straight up. Place your hands behind your head now. Good, drop your head into your hands and let your chin lift slightly. Navel in. Head is off the floor. And then release your head down and hug your knees into your chest. I'm going to give you an opportunity to go upside down. So shoulders stand, head stand, hands stand, form balance, legs up the wall. You can lie on your back, legs just stretched up, or you can bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop wide, supine baddha konasana. So just a couple of moments to either invert or restore. Wherever you've chosen to be, breathe deeply. Breathe in, breathe out. We'll take one more minute here. Beautiful. In your own way, very slowly begin to return out of an inversion if you're still there. And we'll find ourselves coming up to sit. Take your time. Take your THME time. And I'd like you to do a twist here by bringing your feet in front of you and your hands behind you. Bending your knees, planting your feet, and then making your feet as wide as your mat, and then dropping both knees over to the right and walk to the right until you look at the back of your mat and come down to your elbows. Veronica's doing it beautifully. Good, and then walk that back up and change to the other side. Beautiful. Come all the way back up. Lower yourself down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift and shift your hips to the right. Let your knees drop to the left. And please change sides. Coming back to the center and completely relaxing Shavasana. It seems like a very big order when we say the condition of our world depends on the condition of our consciousness. It just matters how you think, how you love, how you forgive, how I forgive. It's my consciousness, it's your consciousness that matters. So we do the work together, powerful work together. So go ahead and deepen your breath. Let your body stretch in any way that feels really good. Hug your knees into your chest, roll to the side, come on up to sit. Bring your hands together at your heart center, and we'll chant Om Shanti 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 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheryl and Veronica.
Welcome. You're welcome. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Go make it great.
Bye, Sheryl. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.